Hey, Dory here for Gamereactor at Gamescom 2016, and we're going to be talking about the new expansion for Destiny. Now, first of all, you just announced it. Let's get it in big chunks. What is this expansion all about?
Tell us.
You do it.
Okay. So Destiny Rise of Iron is the newest adventure in the Destiny universe. It tells the story of Lord Saladin, whose players are familiar with from the Tower hosting the Iron Banner event. So we have a whole new cinematic campaign. We have a new zone called the Plaguelands. We have a new strike called the Wretched Eye, and we have a new raid, which I think a lot of players are going to be very excited about. It's our first Fallen-themed raid on Earth. And yeah, we have a new PvP mode called Supremacy, and private matches. So if anyone has a PS4 or an Xbox One and any version of Destiny, they can play some private matches.
Okay, let's take it step by step.
Yeah.
First of all, the campaign. There's a new enemy faction, the Devil Splicers. What are they all about?
So Devil Splicers are, each house of the Fallen has what they call Splicers. They're the guys who augment technology onto the Fallen body types and armor and weapons and all that. And they discovered Siva, which is a Golden Age nanotechnology that was locked away by the Iron Lords a long time ago. And so you're going to discover this through the story, why Saladin is part of this thing. And the Devil Splicers are there to kind of like, whoa, I'm going to use the Siva and you're trying to do some crazy stuff. And you're there to stop them. And then the raid and everything kind of tied all together to that. And yeah, that's what the faction's all about.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the raid there. In big chunks, what's new in this raid?
Well, it is Fallen, so that's really new for us, and it's on Earth. We can't, the raid team is very secret people, and so I would risk bodily harm if I spoke too much. And part of the joy of the raid is that we walk into it and people have to figure it out and kind of discover it. And so I can say it's about, I think in the Vidoc we say this, so it's about movement, keeping people moving, the tension between being under threat and movement, and so that's something to look forward to. Yeah, it's really fun, and we love how it ties into the rest of the game.
So what's the current in-game time record, and how fast do you think it'll be beaten?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't. Well, it's always a big event at Bungie to watch the live streams when the raid goes live. I haven't put a bet down yet, and so I haven't. It's a bit away. It's the Friday after launch, the 23rd, is when the raid goes live, and so I'm sure before then we will have settled on something. But right now, I don't have one.
And I mean, internally, we, as devs, we cheat all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have to play test it, and we have to like cheat.
Go
so
to phase 3, and
it's like, so we can't. It's not really accurate from ours.
And also part of the record would be, like having some of that knowledge, like we're exempt because we've seen it, so it's not fair.
It's not fair at all. No.
Yeah.
You guys, it's up to you guys.
Indeed it is. There's also a new strike.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
It's called the Wretched Eye. It's about this fallen captain who's plucked the eye of an ogre and attached it to his weapon, and the ogre is there to disrupt this battle. It's one of the things we're excited about is that it also ties into the story of the game, and you'll see there's a mission that leads up to it that it deals with the Hive and how they're being affected by this discovery that the Fallen have made and what they're doing to the Hive, and so it's really fun how that strike ties into the story as well.
Now, of course, with all of this, there's new armor, there's new weapons. What can people expect there?
So for armor, we're introducing these things called ornaments. For exotic weapons too, actually. We saw what people can do with the Chroma system in the April update. We're really excited about that. We're interested to see what people can do with the ornament, making their exotics in different material and different visuals to kind of match their armor. And each of the Trials of Cyrus, the Raid, and Iron Lords have their own ornament set, and that really exemplifies who they are. And then I can imagine people just putting that with Chroma and matching this, and it just look awesome. So I can't wait.
And some new iconic named weapons?
Oh yeah, there's always new weapons and new gear. What's your favorite?
I like Truth. Like Truth is this sort of lone. It's like I don't want to speak too much about it, but yeah, it's great.
About the ornaments for Truth?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, just the weapon itself too is awesome. Yeah.
And I also saw that the Iron Galahorn is back in black as a pre-order. Is that going to be available further down the line for people that don't, buy into the expansion later?
Well, the way it works is that if you pre-order, you can get an Iron Galahwing and the Iron Galahorn, and both are going to be available at your Postmaster on day 1, but you can't use the Iron Galahorn until you complete a quest, and that quest comes after the story. And once you do that, you can get both. So every player that gets it will be able to get that quest and get the regular Galahorn, but if you pre-order, you can get the black Iron Galahorn.
Okay, and you're also raising the light level, of course. What does that bring?
That's 385. And then once hard mode for raid goes out, everything from every activity goes to 400.
And of course, it's not just PvE. You're also tinkering with the PvP. What's new there?
Well, we have a new mode called Supremacy. You kill other players and guardians, and they drop a crest, and then the race is on to see who's going to get it first. If you get the crest, that you can deprive the other team of points. And we also have private matches, so that's going to be really fun. Those are the two big, and new maps, of course.
I'm excited about the private matches because I'm not a very good PvP player, so I can go in by myself, learn where the the ammo drops are, and figure out the sight lines and all that stuff, and maybe one day compete in trials. But it's cool. I mean, that allows me to do stuff.
We can
like
even
that.
train for trials. I mean, we can set up scenarios where Shiek and I, who are, as we've said, very, very good. You can turn on power and do the map that's week's map of trials and run those scenarios so we can learn the map with friendly faces and then go into the real thing. And that's an opportunity we haven't had before. So we're excited about that.
Now in the Crucible, what about voting in? Is it just map voting, or can you also disable certain abilities, certain weapons, stuff like that?
There's no voting. What it is that the party leader can go in and select things like map, time of day, is power enabled, how long is it, what's the score going to be. So that's how it's going to work.
Okay. Now you may have gathered from my open-ended questions, I'm a casual Destiny player, but I do have friends that play daily, and they brought a couple of questions that I'm gonna read out here.
it.
Yes. So rep and loot in Crucible in private matches.
You got this the other day.
So we did think about that. You can do daily Crucible bounties. We also offer you Glimmer and also I think blues and greens in there as well. You can't do your weekly bounties from the Crucible, but we want to try. Hey, when you do these, you can still get yourself some rewards.
And you can also do the Arms Day. You can make progress on the Arms Day.
Yeah.
But what about in private matches?
That's what we're talking about.
Okay,
So private matches.
Yeah,
That's all private matches. Yep.
Yeah, there you see. I have one more here. So, and I'm going to read this word for word.
Love it.
Does the memory of Fellwinter bonus stack with exotics like Armamentarium and will make, for example, make it possible to get 3 nades?
Oh, because there's the double for the where you lose your super.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know. I haven't done that myself.
One of the cool things that we like about the artifacts, and we can't wait for it to get into the hands of people, is to do experiments like that.
Yeah.
I think our lead Crucible guy, Lars, he spoke really eloquently about this, which is artifacts are not they're class agnostic. So it's an overlayer on top of anything that you have, right? And so you can imagine all the different scenarios, you kind of chain things up, and we're excited to see what people can do.
So we're seeing the Plague Lands, which also gives us a new social zone. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Fellwinter's Peak, which is right behind us right here, is a space that Saladin and the Lords previously used them for something. And the first mission, you go up there and you reclaim it from the fallen Devil Splicers. They've kind of taken over it. And from there, it becomes a social space, and you kind of and I think what Scott said earlier is we wrap the story into the gameplay, into the world itself, that really gives the players a sense of oh my gosh, coming back here gives me the memory of why Yolder died, and all these other Iron Lords have died, and I charge my artifact, the artifact lights up this thing, so it gives me a sense of progress and all this stuff, and just the social space itself. On top of the mountain has this homage to all the dead Iron Lords, and we thought that was a really cool feeling that we want to try and preserve.
Okay. So I know you mentioned this before, but let's reiterate for the people out there, when will they be getting their hands on Rise of Iron?
So Rise of Iron comes out Tuesday, September 20th, and then the raid comes out on Friday the 23rd, and then also on the 20th, the Destiny Collection goes live. So if you've heard about Destiny and you have some friends that play it, it's a great opportunity to come in. There's a character boost, so if you want to jump right up and join your friends that are playing Rise of Iron, you can. If you want to play through the whole adventure, and there's 5 adventures in there. It's a really amazing amount of content. And so we're excited to show people that maybe have been on the fence or haven't been sure what we've been up to.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We thought we had sealed away the plague for eternity. But now, it has returned. And this time, with a fallen army. It is time to avenge my brothers and sisters. Stand with me, Guardian. Prove yourself worthy, and the Iron Lords will rise again.